Hi, my name is Young Chen, software engineer for TRIRIGA application. Today's TTEC Go is on real estate enhancements. We have broken up real estate enhancement in general enhancement, partial payment, and straight line enhancement, adjust payment enhancement into three parts. Today I'll just be focusing on general enhancements. Other videos will be on partial payments and straight line and adjust payment enhancements. So in general enhancements, I'll give a quick overview of the form changes that we made and also some chart enhancement that we changed. And do a quick demo of the form changes and go into the chart enhancements. So our goal here was to do some form changes for partial payments on location-specific quarter, which in the next video for partial payment we'll get into details. But there are some fields and things that we changed for location-specific quarter in the Generate Payment Schedule wizard. And also for annually and semi in the general payment, we also made some changes. And also accounting tab in the real estate lease and asset lease. And then we'll get into some chart layout enhancements that our SME wanted us to change our lease accounting portals and the real estate and asset lease accounting tab. So some of the form changes on our Generate Payment Schedule, we needed location-specific quarter frequency to have a field to move one of the location-specific quarter fields up next to frequency, as you can see in the screenshot. And for location-specific quarter, we have traditional and English. If you're not aware of these special quarters, they're not the same quarters as our normal quarters. For English quarter and Scottish quarters, they fall in different dates. We also really needed to have a period start date, so we made that visible and made it read-only since English quarter and Scottish quarter don't fall on a particular like 3 months quarters. They have a special date, so whatever first period payments date that you select, we are finding the next quarter for either English or Scottish quarter and pre-populated for you. So that's period start date that pretty majorly changed in our Generate Payment Schedule wizard. And for annual and semi-annual frequency, there was never a concept of period start date there, so we needed to show period start date for partials to work. So we made it visible and editable. So every year you will have a period. You would choose a period start date so that partials will take consideration from the first payment date. And also pro rata did not have actual day basis in consideration, and we've added that as a default for Generate Payment Schedule wizard. So in our chart enhancements, for our lease accounting manager portal, we needed some label changes that our subject matter experts has recommended us that we needed to change. So in our portal of our lease accounting, we had this amortization schedules, which we now relabeled it to lease financial summary. Also in our amortization, when we run the summary report, the amortization summary report, we have sections called amortization report, which now we've renamed it to lease financial summary, and same goes as the lease financial summary report, report that it gets generated. And in our real estate lease and asset lease accounting tab, if you're familiar, we have these type A, type B charts that we're displaying, and we needed really to make it in sync. So if it is type A, we only show like the impact report operating versus type A, balance sheet effective operating versus type B, and also asset value type A. So these were relabeled. It used to be called like asset value operating versus type A section. So now we relabeled it to just asset value type A, and also our legends, we made it the same asset value type A. So same goes as type B. The legends have changed and the label has been changed. There's one on operating versus type B. It was not visible for type B. We made it visible when type B is selected. And now it's able to calculate net equity as being calculated. So with that said, let's dive into some of the form changes and the enhancement, the chart enhancement to show the changes. So here, let me just show the form changes for one here. Let's go into these. So since these are revised, let's active. Let's revise it. Quick revise, so we can show you the generate payment schedule. On generate payment schedule, if we select admin fees for now, payment type, and we wanted location specific, so our frequency, we would say specific quarterly, and on change, the system will display this location specific quarter, and we're able to select English quarters or Scottish quarters. So as you can see, the fields are shown. If we select like a English quarter has their own individual quarters. So if we select like we're going to start on first, it will go find the next quarter that it starts. So the next quarter here for English specific quarter for the first quarter is going to be 12/25/2015, and so forth. So if we select like January, it's going to find the second quarter for English quarter, and that's March 25th. So it's not like our traditional January 1st, March 1st quarters. So this will drive our partial payments. And then if we look at annual and semi-annual, now we enable the field to display our period start. So this will help drive us to create partials. And like I mentioned, pro rata, now we have it defaulted to actual day basis, which it's the most common, but there's also the 360 day basis and 365. So that's with Generate Payment Schedule Wizard. In our payment schedule, create one. submit to org here. Some test records here. So what I was saying, if we select MM fees again, and let's select annually, and then let's keep it simple. Period start date, but our first payment date, we started period start date. So we have 2 payments, and let's make this 2 partials. So I want this partial to spread against 3. So we're going to have 2 partial payments. So let's create this partial first and partial last. So I just want to show the payment schedule. We had some fields there that we changed for our form. So you'll see current period start date now is displayed. We're currently, our period start date is 2/1, and we have a partial of this for the first payment schedule. And then our second, we have a partial end, which will get calculated. And we have these fields shown now. Calculation method, payment due on, they're all going to be displayed on our payment schedule record for annually and semi. Previously, it wasn't. Okay. Now let's go to the charts, how I was mentioning. Let's go to the portal first. So let me sign out of this user. Let me go to Lease accounting user. And here in this portal, we have Lease financial summary, and which we renamed. And now when we run this report, we'll see that the Lease financial summary section will also be renamed, and also the BERT report that's generated will also be renamed. There we go. So Lease financial summary is renamed, and this is in the directions from our SME in a conference that they presented to change the naming. Okay. So now that's there. Now let's go back into our user and to show the charts on the accounting tab. So in our net equity type A, we should only see in our accounting tab with the lease classification type A, should only display type A charts. So schedule type A, our impact report versus type A, our balance sheet operating versus type A is displayed, and also asset value type A. And the legends are all reflected correctly. And then for type B, we had to make some changes there too. So let me leave this. And for our accounting classification, which is type B, should only display schedule type B, operating impact versus type B, and balance sheet and operating versus type B. I believe this was not displayed before, and now we're displaying it and make sure that it's working for that equity. And then also asset value type B and legends has been updated. So that's with the general enhancements to work with our real estate lease. Let me go back to PowerPoint. And I believe that's what we have so far. Any questions, please don't hesitate to contact. I think that's it. Thank you.